Hello, and welcome back to the Late Night Jargon. I'm posting again pretty fast because I feel bad for not posting for 2 months. Want to get better at it and gonna try to stick to a good schedule. But otherwise, today I want to talk about loneliness, which I feel like all of us face to a certain degree, some more than others. But it is challenging at times. It can be really challenging, especially depending on what period of life you're in. I even still remember the first time I truly felt alone. It was, goodness, probably about 10 years ago. The year prior, I moved from my hometown of New Jersey into North Carolina. And I started to attend a new elementary school, where I made friends pretty quickly and was surprised about how quickly I made friends. But the year after that, I had to transfer to a new school. The old school wasn't the greatest in terms of education and safety, to say the least. But I wasn't thrilled about it. I was scared. Just within 2 years, I lost two friend groups. One being my childhood friends, and the other being what I thought would be my new lifelong friends. But I remember going into the school year being a lot more nervous than I was previously. I think it had a lot to do with the changes that were going on. I felt like I was noticing qualities of myself that I didn't like, both physically and socially. And because of that, I became quiet. I struggled to make friends on the first day and the second day. And probably 6 months in, I probably didn't make a single friend. And after that, the friends I did make were never really close. And it was an introduction to something that I hated. I hated feeling alone. I hated feeling like the odd one out. Watching and observing everyone else with their friend groups and talking with no effort. I honestly forgot how it felt to talk to people. I feel like I was living vicariously through everyone else. And this remained the same for a very long time. And it didn't help that I was getting in my head a lot. I started trying to figure out, why am I so lonely? And I started self-degrading myself. I'm like, oh, it's because this, and that. It's because of, I'm on the chubbier side, or I stumble when I talk, or even my hair. Not gonna lie, I did not have the greatest middle school haircut. I had the side part, and people used to say it looked like a toupee, and I didn't think I recognized it until later. And I'm like, yeah, that looked like a toupee. But even still, none of that was why I was lonely. The reason why I was lonely was because I made myself that way. And I'm not saying that's the reason for everyone's loneliness. I know there's 1,000 of different reasons, but that was mine, and I feel like that can be very common. I feel like we sometimes fixate on something so much, and we're so worried about it that we almost speak it into existence. I feel like that was the case with me. I thought about making friends and the difficulties of making friends, and thinking way, way too hard about what I should say, that when it would actually come out of my mouth, it would be all jumbled. It would be incoherent to anyone. But it was because I was so worried about making sure all of it was perfect, that if I just become this perfect person, then people will like me. And if I'm anything but this perfect person, they won't like me. So I didn't talk to people because I didn't think of myself as the perfect person. I'm like, why would they want to talk to me? I'm not this, this, and that. So let me just become this, this, and that, and then I'll have friends. And if you're going through a similar thought process, please recognize that that is not true. Because none of those people are perfect. None of those people hit those standards. So you shouldn't expect those standards for yourself. And honestly, it can hurt future relationships, not only friendships, but partnerships. Trust me, that's going to be a video for another day because I definitely have a lot to talk about that. But you shouldn't have to feel like you need to change in order for people to like you. Now, obviously, there's such thing as good change, like actual problems that you have recognized in your life that you feel like you can work upon. But how do you break out of this loneliness? For me personally, it was God. I'm a Christian and a follower of Christ. So leaning on God and understanding that He is always there and that I was never truly alone has helped me phenomenally. But if you're not a follower of Christ or even a religious person, how do you break out of it? Well, I think it starts with being comfortable with yourself. Like I said before, I think my loneliness was derived from the fact that I didn't like myself. And I didn't put myself out there because I was afraid of what people would think. I was afraid of rejection. I was afraid that people would see my shortcomings, both physically and socially. But say you put yourself out there and you are rejected. Does that make you any less of a person? Does that make you a horrible person per se? No. But that just means that you guys weren't supposed to click. Both, I feel like this can apply both relationship-wise and friendship-wise. It's okay if you don't click with every person. You're not meant to. Everyone's different. But at the same time, there's, 8 billion people on Earth now? So there is people out there with similar interests and a similar personality as you. It's just a matter of putting yourself out there and recognizing that you are a good person and you are worth friends. Having this healthy relationship with how you see yourself can boost your confidence and honestly your overall life. I think once I started fixing how I perceived myself, life became a lot easier. I was less anxious about how people viewed me. I was less anxious to talk to people. I'm not saying that it's going to come instantaneously. I wish it did, but it doesn't. It's going to take time, but you have to work at it. And I'm not saying everything is foolproof. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a psychologist. But this is from what I've experienced. And if I can help anyone out there, I would just want you to know that you are good enough. It doesn't matter what others think. You are special. All right. Well, I'm going to end the video there. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe, and have a good one.